I'm okay with multi-country hosts, right? Korea, Japan was a good example. Yes, you had to fly back and forth. It was, not ideal, but it was in a more limited geographic area. Spain, Morocco, and Portugal is even closer together. It's easy to get from Morocco to Spain and Portugal to Spain and vice versa. Hopefully, this is the last iteration of multi-continental.
You don't think that this is going to be a trend?
It's a smart way to go forward. It also limits the type of corruption that you could typically have when one country is, giving people brown bags full of Rolexes to try to get.
In 2026, it's in the United States, it's in Canada, it's in Mexico.
Ridiculous.
This is
How's that ridiculous?
We're big.
And finally, in other international news, later today, we'll officially find out who the host countries are for the 2030 and 2034 World Cups. A 6-nation bid led by Morocco, Spain, and Portugal is set to be awarded hosting rights for the 2030 World Cup. South American nations Uruguay, Argentina, and Paraguay would host matches as part of the celebration of the World Cup's 100-year anniversary. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia is expected to be named the host of the 2034 World Cup, which would come just 12 years after Qatar served as host. Now, Nico, both of these bids, they're running unopposed. So the FIFA Congress vote today, it's really more of a formality. How upset are you with the process that it took to get to this point? I'm looking at your face. You look like you're rolling your eyes.
Let's just do a World Cup with Brazil, France, and Sweden, and bring Nigeria into the mix and just have the World Cup all over the world. It's ridiculous.
It's called the World Cup, though. That's actually not a bad idea. I know you're saying that in jest.
Multi-continent.
The World Cup includes the qualifiers. The World Cup finals are the grand tournament, what used to be the 32 teams. That was such a great tournament, and now they've just amped it up. It's ridiculous. The fact that it begins, per reports, in Argentina, Uruguay, to honor the centenary of the World Cup.
First ever World Cup in 1930 was hosted in Uruguay.
In Uruguay, so 100 years later, they do it in Uruguay.
Which, by the way, the U.S. finished third.
Correct.
In that World Cup. So talk to me, England.
And the two finalists of that World Cup get to host only the first game. Uruguay gets to host a game, Argentina gets to host a game, and Paraguay gets to host a game.
We can't figure out why, but whatever, they're there.
But then after that, they need to all go to the Iberian Peninsula in Morocco to play the World Cup in Spain, Portugal.
Just those teams that took part.
6 teams.
Yes.
Of the 48.
Okay.
Whatever. But listen, the real reason why this is done is because of the rotation of the World Cup. In that 6-team bid, you clear South America, you clear Europe, and you clear Africa to pave the way for Saudi to host a World Cup in 2034. And yay, more sports washing from soccer. Honestly, it saddens me.
It's happening every day. This isn't the first and last time. I don't like it as much as you, but at the end of the day, more countries and more people from more countries getting an opportunity to go see the game we love and building a fan base is a positive. So yes, 6 out of the 758 teams that are going to take part in this tournament have to travel a little bit across the waters. Well, so do I if I want to dip my toes in some water, you know what I mean? On a beach.
I'm okay
as disgusting as that vision may be.
I'm okay with multi-country hosts, right? Korea, Japan was a good example. Yes, you had to fly back and forth. It was, not ideal, but it was in a more limited geographic area. Spain, Morocco, and Portugal is even closer together. It's easy to get from Morocco to Spain and Portugal to Spain and vice versa. Hopefully, this is the last iteration of multi-continental.
You don't think that this is going to be a trend?
It's a smart way to go forward. It also limits the type of corruption that you could typically have when one country is, giving people brown bags full of Rolexes to try to get.
In 2026, it's in the United States, it's in Canada, it's in Mexico.
Ridiculous.
This is
How's that ridiculous?
We're big.
It's not that ridiculous. We're all next to each other.
That travel is no joke.
Monterrey to Vancouver?
What about the kid in Vancouver that can't afford to go to Monterrey or can't afford to go to Miami?
Then Canada
Let's stop acting like it's just a cash grab. There's some positive. Sometimes there's a silver lining.
And that's what Gianni Infantino ran his presidency on.
Because he's a good politician.
Right? Yeah,
that's how you make it to the top. Look at this guy.
I get it.
If you were writing a movie with an evil character in the 90s, you would have picked this man to be that evil character. If he put a pinky to his mouth, you'd be like, yeah, I get it.
Doctor. Oh, geez, wow, what a visual that is.